What's good, YouTube? We're Lethal, and today we're reacting to Sasuke versus Rock Lee, Naruto the Real Winner, brought to us by Tempest. And yeah, I got Sasuke. I'm pretty sure that he's going to be talking about the tuning exams. Those two in the tuning exams, because anything after, like the end of part one, I feel like it's obvious that is Sasuke, but I feel like if it's the tuning exams, then it is a closer matchup. But yeah, I will leave the video link down below. You feel me? And yeah, let's jump right into it.
Sasuke Uchiha vs. Rock Lee has been a controversial topic ever since the beloved tuning exams arc of Naruto. Many people throughout the Naruto and Discord debate communities oftentimes debate and try to put an end to the long-running debate of Rock Lee versus Sasuke Uchiha, but oftentimes never come to a general consensus upon the matter. However, in this video, I'll try to answer the controversial topic of Rock Lee versus Sasuke Uchiha and find out who truly wins between the two.
I got Sasuke.
However, before I start though, I would like to preface this video will only encompass both versions of the characters when they fight Gaara and their feats and statements that are applicable to the said fighters during the said fight. Any feats or statements before or after the respective fights against Gaara will not be applicable in this said versus battle. But without further ado, let's get right into the video.
Well, it's not really the same Gaara, right? Because if I remember correctly, the one that Sasuke fought was like losing his mind a little bit, so like he couldn't really control himself, if I'm right. So it's not really the same Gaara that they fought.
Starting with the Leaf Young Taijutsu prodigy Rock Lee, Rock Lee is introduced as one of the top 3 genin within the series alongside his teammate Neji Hyuga and his opponent for the said video, Sasuke Uchiha. When he's introduced within the series, the first person Rock Lee would face off against would be Sasuke. Rock Lee would go on to utterly beat the likes of Sasuke until he would have to use his Sharingan, but this wouldn't work. Rock Lee would then go on to educate the likes of Sasuke by saying that just because one can perceive the likes of an attack doesn't inherently mean that they can react to it. After this short lecture, Rock Lee would go on to beat Sasuke using the Lotus, thus teaching him a lesson and lowering his ego in the process. Rock Lee would then leave a long-lasting impression on the community, seeing how the community at the time thought that Sasuke was the strongest genin at the time and seemed to have the most potential. But with the introduction of Rock Lee, this belief may be put into question. However, in Lee's fight against Gaara, Lee is able to convey to us many feats that would put him above the likes of many of the low-tier genin within the tuning exams. When Lee would take off his weights, Lee's able to bypass Gaara's ultimate sand defense on multiple occasions that would protect him passively, even going as far as breaking Gaara's sand armor in the process, as well as wounding him. However, this might be due to the fact that the sand armor is directly stated to be riddled with weak points by Konkuro. Back to the main point, however, Gaara would then attack the likes of Lee with his sand, and Lee would soon come to realize that the increased speed of himself without the weights would not be sufficient in order to beat the likes of Gaara. Lee would then resort to the primary Lotus in hopes of taking down Gaara for good, but would wince in pain, thus giving Gaara the opportunity to split out the attack before it can fully land it. But then again, Gaara would then take the likes of the power and speed of weightless Lee. To combat the ever-growing power of Gaara, Lee would then reveal his most powerful form, the 5th gate. For some context, the 8 inner gates are the 8 points of chakra limitation within a person's chakra network that are found within a person's body, which the 8 gates would forcibly override, thus leading to a massive increase in both speed and power. Rock Lee would then go on to open the 5th gate at closing and would then beat the likes of Gaara to the point where Gaara couldn't even react. Lee would also move so fast to the point where Kakashi would have to use his 3 Tomoe Sharingan in order to track his movements. However, even the 5th gate at closing wouldn't be enough to take down the Demon of the Sand, Gaara, and Lee would thus lose the tuning exams due to Gaara using his partial sand coffin and ending the fight. Moving on to the last surviving member of the Uchiha clan dynasty, we have Sasuke Uchiha, the Uchiha prodigy with the Leaf. Sasuke during this fight against Gaara was visualized by Gaara to have the same movements as Lee. This would have conveyed the idea that Lee and Sasuke would be on the same level of speed, however this may not be the case in actuality. This would further be supported, seeing how Sasuke is able to convey to us better feats against the likes of a stronger Gaara. This is shown in the Battle of the Forest, with Gaara entering his partial transformation. Sasuke was able to overpower this form of Gaara using the Chidori, which increases your speed beyond physical reaction. This version of Gaara would gain another amp, as is stated in the data books that Gaara gets a sort of mental amp every time he draws blood from his opponents. As for speed, as I mentioned earlier, Sasuke was able to match the likes of Lee's Taijutsu speed. This would be in reference to Lee's gate sort of mental imp every time he draws blood from his opponents. As for speed, as I mentioned earlier, Sasuke was able to match the likes of Lee's taijutsu speed. This would be in reference to Lee's gates rather than the weightless, seeing how Kakashi had Sasuke track Lee's movements with his Sharingan, something that even Kakashi would do in the tuning exams. There would also be a preponderance of evidence, seeing how Kakashi only needed his Sharingan in reference to Gates Lee and only called the likes of Weightless Lee fast in comparison. Furthermore, Gar was able to visualize the likes of Lee through Sasuke, symbolizing the similarities between both speed and power within the two characters. Even prior to this statement being made, it's also mentioned by Guy that Sasuke's base speed is practically on the same level as Lee's without his weights, and it's also confirmed by Lee that this is actually the case later on within the same chapter. Guy would also have knowledge of this, seeing how he's revealed as a taijutsu master and is a literal taijutsu teacher of Lee himself. In conclusion to this controversial battle, however, Lee versus Sasuke, and the winner of this fight would have to be Sasuke. Sasuke is just too fast for Lee, and his AP would go higher due to the Chidori and how it reacted to a stronger version of Gaara than the one Lee fought, as well as the increased perception of the Sharingan. This is again also noted by Gaara, calling Sasuke his strongest opponent in the data books, even after fighting against the likes of a 5th Gate Lee. However, it has been Tempest. I hope everyone liked the video. All the links to my server, my scan server, all that, my TikTok, all that will all be in the description down below. But like I said, it has been Tempest. I hope everyone liked the video.
Shouts out to Tempest. Now, I knew that Sasuke would win. I don't think Sasuke is too fast for Lee, even with his Chidori. I don't think it's too much faster than Gates going into 5th Gate. That I don't know. I can't be wrong about that though, but I definitely do think Sasuke is stronger, and I definitely do think he's faster, but not by like too much though. But yeah, Sasuke wins. You feel me? Shouts out to Tempest. I will leave the video link down below, and yeah, make sure y'all have a blessed day and peace.
Then she gon' pull out the tape and tie me up, then lock me away. That bitch, she said that she hate me. I am not faced, my niggas waiting at your place. For all this shit escalate, I need to know how many niggas you've played. How did you take off your tape? She looking right at me and she swerves into the lake.